First of all, I would like to congratulate the smooth going of the 2018 Arctic Circle Assembly and thank the organizers for their thoughtful and considerate arrangements. I'm pleased to see that the Assembly has set up this special session, China and the Future of the Arctic Belt and Road. And it is my privilege and honor to speak and later exchange views on the Belt and Road Initiative with the fellow delegates and friends here, especially on the Polar Silk Road issue, jointly envisioning the bright future of the Arctic. China is a stakeholder in Arctic affairs and a geographically near Arctic state, as stated in our white paper, China's policy on the Arctic. The development of the Arctic is closely linked with China. On 26th January of this year, the government of China issued our first white paper on China's Arctic policy. So this is the new kind of development since my last Arctic Circle Assembly. So pursuant to this white paper, the policy goals of China on the Arctic are to understand, to protect, to develop and to participate in the governance of the Arctic. China will participate in Arctic affairs in accordance with the basic principle of respect, cooperation, win-win result, and sustainability, the four principles to guide us. The white paper is the first ever Arctic policy document issued by the Chinese government. It serves as an important policy guidance for China's participation in the Arctic affairs, both currently and in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, this year marks the 5th anniversary of the Belt Road Initiative. In the past 5 years, the construction of the Belt and Road Initiative has achieved a fruitful result. As of July this year, there are more than 100 countries or international organizations that have signed a cooperation agreement or arrangement with China on the Belt and Road Initiative, covering a scope from the Eurasian continent to Africa, Latin America, and Caribbean, as well as South Pacific. So this the goods traded between China and those countries along the route have exceeded $5 trillion. The total investment for the economic and trade cooperation zones within the countries along the route have reached $28.9 billion, creating 244,000 jobs and producing more than $2 billion tax revenues. So just for transportation alone, more than 9,000 China-Europe freight trains have been dispatched to 14 European countries and 42 cities, shipping nearly 800,000 containers of goods, with the transportation network covering the major areas of the Eurasian continent. It is fair to say that the Belt and Road Initiative is of great significance, not only for developing countries, but also for the economic development and cooperation around the whole world. The achievement of the Belt and Road Initiative is mainly due to the fact that the initiative, as an open and inclusive platform, gives goes with the trends of the world and the demand of time and people, matches the common aspiration of states for expedited development. The Belt and Road Initiative consistently upholds the principle of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits. All nations, large and small, rich and poor, strong and weak, enjoy the same status and common participation. So the Belt and Road Initiative also operates on a market basis and abides by the market disciplines and other relevant international rules. So with various enterprises subject a role and government a dual role in allocating resources. Ladies and gentlemen, Arctic is situated as a special geographical location and has a fragile ecosystem. It is an area of land and sea, national jurisdiction, and a combination of sea areas within and or without the national jurisdiction. It plays an irreplicable role in scientific research, environmental protection, resource utilization, and tackling climate change, and has natural advantages to connect with the Belt and Road Initiative. In June last year, China released the document Vision for Maritime Cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative, which emphasizes that China will make efforts to promote a blue economy passage leading up to Europe via the Arctic Ocean, participates in Arctic affairs, supports efforts by countries bordering the Arctic in improving maritime transportation conditions, and encourages Chinese enterprises to take part in the commercial use of the Arctic route. The document also notes that Chinese enterprises are encouraged to join in a sustainable exploration of Arctic resources in a responsible way. China is willing to strengthen cooperation in clean energy with Arctic countries and to actively participate in events organized by the Arctic-related international organizations. The white paper published in January further provides that the Silk Road economic belt and 21st century maritime Silk Road, that's the Belt and Road Initiative, will bring opportunities for parties concerned to jointly build a polar Silk Road and facilitate connectivity and sustainable economic and social development of the Arctic. The polar Silk Road is the specific embodiment of the Belt and Road Initiative in the Arctic areas. So it is designed to facilitate connectivity and sustainable economic and social development for the Arctic connected by the Arctic shipping routes. Moreover, the Polar Silk Road aims at furthering common interests, developing common good of all parties, and promoting the building of the community with a shared future for the Arctic. Up to now, the joint construction of Polar Silk Road initiative has yielded preliminary achievement. For example, since 2013, the China Ocean Shipping Company, COSCO, has launched the pilot trip on the Arctic shipping routes and till now has completed 24 voyages, and not too many. Just in early this month, two sister ships of COSCO named Tianyu and Tianhui both achieved the feat of two-way traffic to the Arctic Northeast Passage. For another example, the Yamal LNG project located within the Russian Arctic Circle territory was officially put into production in December last year. So this project, having involved 15 countries, including Russia, China, and France, is presently the largest LNG project in the Arctic and is known as the energy pearl on the Arctic Circle. The LNG produced by this project was transported to China and consumption markets through the Arctic Northeast Passage. The first ship carrying LNG arrived in Jiangsu province in July this year and making a lot of headlines in our media. So as an important pivot of Polar Silk Road, the Yamal project has become a model to extending of the Belt and Road Initiative in the Arctic. Ladies and gentlemen, the Belt and Road Initiative originates from China, but it belongs to the world. So China will uphold the Silk Road spirit of peace and cooperation, openness and inclusiveness, mutual learning and mutual benefit, spare no efforts to contribute its wisdom and strength to the development of the Arctic region, with a view to jointly building a bright future for the Arctic. Thank you very much.